going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a Chicago Bulls and Orlando Magic game reaction. The Chicago Bulls entered the Orlando Magic arena, a team that is not at its best by any stretch of the means, only has 8 wins on the season, and now they're beating the Chicago Bulls and have 9 wins on their season. And all I can say is that win is rightfully deserved for the Orlando Magic. They absolutely outplayed us, and more importantly, they outworked us. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls game today. Who was your player of the game and your overall thoughts and opinions on a loss to the Orlando Magic. We lost this game 114-95. And the old saying goes, ladies and gentlemen, hard work beats talent if talent does not work hard. That is the key definition, the key phrase that I think many people will remember from this video after watching this Orlando Magic team. Are we a talented Chicago Bulls team even with a shorthanded team that we have? Yes, we are more talented than the Orlando Magic with the current team that we have at the moment. However, when you don't work hard defensively and when you're not scoring the ball well, you will lose games every single time. And we didn't score the ball well. That's a given. DeMar DeRozan damn near scored half of our points, but we did not work defensively enough, and hence is the reason why we lost this game. Because you can always win the gritty battle type of games if you put in the shift defensively that we expect at a Chicago Bulls level, at an NBA level as well. When you don't put that shift in, when you're missing assignments, when you're allowing wide open fast break opportunities to occur, when you're just not picking up certain individuals, you're not playing the right way, you're getting cross-matched on defense, it's just really hard to win those types of games when those things are happening. And that is a team responsibility. As much as we can blame individual performers, left, right, and center, and we will get into that a little bit later, this is a team effort for that loss. There are very, very few people that I could say really held their head up high in today's game. And in the end, we lost to a very, I guess, underwhelming Orlando Magic team. And they definitely played better than us, and they outworked us. And the saying goes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to repeat it, but we all know the saying, you have to work hard. You cannot take teams lightly, and you cannot play to your level, your opponent's level, because that's how you end up losing games like this when teams have single-digit records, when they only have 9 wins on the season, yet they outwork us, they outplay us, and we play to their level. They're going to win those games. That's a trap game in every sense of the word. You can really tell how frustrated the Chicago Bulls were, Chicago Bulls commentators were. Obviously, Bulls fans will be very frustrated as well. Everybody is frustrated from a loss like this, and a loss like this cannot be the defining moments of our season. We cannot be out here blowing leads or giving away wins to teams that are not deserving of them, or teams that are not better than us on paper. We have to deliver on the court, especially when we are short-handed. I believe we've lost 7 out of our 9 games, so it's a bit frustrating to look at, and we've seen it constantly now. And all I can say now is I just really hope that Zach LaVine and Javonte Green will be back in the next game against the Thunder. I really hope we can finally get another 20-point-per-game scorer in this team, because I think it's very clear now our second option cannot be Nikola Vucevic. The way that he's been playing this season, it's been really, really poor. He has good stretches at times, but more often than not, he's not had really good games at all for the Chicago Bulls. And the thing that he's trying to shoot himself out of is kind of making it worse. Every time that we watch him, there's very few and far between times where he's had really strong games. And he can't be our second option. If he's our second option, we will lose games because he's not delivering on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, honestly, I thought he was okay. I don't even think he was that bad defensively, but offensively today, not good enough at all. He had a double-double. He had about, I think, 13 points, but he shot 19 shots to get there. That's not good enough if you're supposed to be the second option. And you had players like Kobe White that tried to pick up the slack, and Kobe White was making Hail Mary shots and tough decisions because nobody else wanted to shoot on this team. Ayo didn't really want to shoot on this team. Matt Thomas only had 1 shot in the game. Troy Brown Jr. didn't exactly play very well, didn't really get any shots going for himself. Who is there? Tyler Cook. Tyler Cook was really poor today as well. So yeah, you leave it up to two players to try and win the game, and you're not going to win. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to give a big praise to DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, his season high in today's game, 41 points. His first time he's done that since 2018, and we needed every single one of those points for the Chicago Bulls. It was really, really poor the way that we played today, and he nearly scored half of our points. That just goes to show that this team needs another scorer, and also if we are having games like this, we need to improve defensively. We did neither of those things. Kobe White, I thought, had a good game offensively. I think defensively he was a bit poor. I think all of our guards today were really poor defensively, and that is why we will miss players like Lonzo Ball, and we will miss players like Alex Caruso that are going to be out for a couple of months at least, just because we need defensive leadership, we need a defensive presence, and that came from our guards. As good as our team defense is overall when everybody's healthy, the guards are the core components to why our defense is so good. It makes everybody else's job easier when you have two really solid, really good, great defensive leaders on your team, and they're both playing at the point guard position, and they both help this team in terms of running the defense, calling out plays, trying to get in front of your man, maybe even making getting a few charges here and there. That's what your point guards should be doing. And I thought Io, someone that we really see a solid defender out of him, gambles too much, goes for steals, not sticking in front of his man. That's something that Io has to continue to work on, because that was a big weakness in his game, at least today, for the Orlando Magic. He did not play great defense. Neither did Kobe White, neither did any of the bench players that came into the game. And I think this speaks in the result. So we do need to work defensively. We need to have more team camaraderie, and we just need to find ways to win these games shorthanded. Hopefully we won't be shorthanded anymore. Hopefully we can get our second scoring option, or even our first scoring option, depending on the night, in Zach LaVine back. We need Zach LaVine back, because if we're not going to play defense, the least we can do is have a terrific offense. And that is something that I believe we will have with Zach LaVine taking the reins as one of the key scoring options, and letting Vucevic just kind of be that third option or fourth option on a team, because I don't think he's good enough to be the second option. At least in this stretch of games, he's shown he can't be trusted on the offensive end in my eyes. So until he gets that rhythm going, we need Zach LaVine on this team. It's as simple as that. Hopefully this Thunder game will be the key to see Zach LaVine return. And obviously you would know that my must improve, speaking about him so often, is Nikola Vucevic. Now this team could, in its entirety, could get a must improve just because the effort was not there. It's very similar to the Warriors game. The only reason this game wasn't blown out the way that the Warriors game was is that Orlando did not play terrifically well either, to be honest. And you got to give full credit for the way that they outworked us, but they're not the Warriors. They're not the Nets. They should not be beating us by 19 points, but they could have ended up, if they had any of a better caliber of a team, they could have blown us away by 30 or 40. It was that type of game for the Chicago Bulls. So reality is, I am going to pick Nikola Vucevic for must improve, but that doesn't mean this whole team gets away with it. This team really needs to continue to work very hard on the effort levels every single night. Can't be sleeping on the job, ladies and gentlemen. Can't be taking it easy because you're versing a lower caliber team. You have to work every single game, and every single game can't be taken for granted, especially as we've seen, we've lost 7 out of 9, and some of them are because we do not work hard enough on the floor. Our player of the game is DeMar DeRozan. That's a really easy decision. Again, he's the only one that really is doing anything on the floor when he's on the floor. He's the one that's scoring. He's the one that's trying to get to the foul line. He's the one that's trying to make something happen for this team. And to be honest, I can't say that there was another really strong player outside of Kobe White in this game that did anything on the floor. And there was opportunities for those guys. There was opportunities for Io. There was opportunities for players like Troy Brown Jr. off the bench. There was opportunities for Tyler Cook. There was opportunities for the whole team. Everybody had an equal chance. I don't want to hear that this was an isolation game and that the way that the team played wasn't good enough. Because at the end of the day, there was opportunities to show that they could have made an impact in this game, and they did not do it. I don't want to hear isolation was the problem today, because it wasn't. Isolation was far from the problem today, because DeMar DeRozan was the only one that actually tried to do something. He tried to get players involved, but in the end, when players are not really wanting to take shots, What is DeMar DeRozan supposed to do? He has to take up the shots. He has to score the ball. He has to make sure that we stay in a game that we probably don't deserve to be in. That's what DeMar DeRozan did today, and that's why he's my player of the game. Anybody that's saying isolation was the problem, I would have to ask you, name somebody else that actually wanted to shoot the ball today, because I tell you what, there's not many players out there that wanted to do that. So, DeMar DeRozan is my player of the game. Very easy decision, and I think he deserves a lot better than what we're showing as a team for the Chicago Bulls. Our record, I believe, is 28-17. Again, we are falling very, very, very close to danger here. Again, teams from 1st to 6 and 7 are really in our competition at the moment. If we continue to keep falling and losing these games, we're going to see the Miami Heat probably beat the Lakers very soon as well. They're going to come and take our spot. The reality is we don't have a lot of time to recuperate from this situation. If we continue to lose games like this, if we continue to not play with the effort that we expect, we will fall to 6. We will fall to 7. It's just the way that it is. We can't hide from that situation. We have to pick it up, and hopefully the firepower can return against the OKC Thunder. Our next game is against the OKC Thunder. Again, this is a game I'd really like revenge with. You'd think in this game, Vucevic would be very, very strong. You think there'd be a reason behind trying to win in Orlando, but we didn't end up doing that. But last season, OKC ended up having a massive comeback win over the Chicago Bulls in the halftime period. So I do want to beat the OKC Thunder away from home. I want us to send a message that we're not the same team from last year. But if we lose this game, that's going to be a big talking point for the Chicago Bulls. It's one that I don't think we should lose, but at the end of the day, we've seen we can lose to teams if we don't work hard enough. We lost to the Orlando Magic at the end of the day. If we can't beat the Orlando Magic, maybe the OKC Thunder will walk in with miles of confidence because they are a better team, and they will probably walk away with a win if we don't play to our capabilities. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I know many people would have not enjoyed this game, but it is what it is. Just got to keep fighting now, ladies and gentlemen. I've called out the team's effort defensively again. Twice in this season I've done that, and I don't like doing it, but it has to be done. And again, I don't want to see that same energy against the Thunder, because we will lose if that's the energy we provide. Take care.